Okay, so the cultiest thing that I personally by far have ever done basically equates to street evangelism. And I did this in my early 20s when I was going to a Pentecostal rooted non denominational church and was part of the prophetic ministry at the church. I was in an internship that was basically teaching us how to hear from God for other people. Very much psychic vibes, although psychic was like a very blasphemous word to use. It was called prophetic. And we, in order to flex our prophetic muscle and bless the people in our community, literally eye roll, we would go out in public, usually to Walmart, to go up to random people and basically like feel like we downloaded a message for them and give them prophetic words. And a lot of times, like, we would ask God, like, who do you want me to go up to? What do you want me to say about them? And we would feel like he would say someone with a red shirt or a blonde woman or like something along those lines. And then we would ask for a specific message, like, let me try to think of an example. Like maybe I would get the message that like, I feel like you're going through a really hard time right now. And God says that like, you're doing a great job and you're going to get through it and blah, blah, blah. Sometimes the messages were super vague and sometimes they were super specific and sometimes they were right and sometimes they were totally wrong. And I always had huge problems with this and always put up a fight whenever we went out in public to do this. I was way more okay with doing it in our church when people came up to me and asked for it, but I constantly was questioning and feeling bad and like avoiding going out and doing this kind of like street evangelism. And the reason this is super culty and what my intuition was trying to tell me at the time that I just didn't have the language for was that this is pretty horrible to do to people because it completely does not give the other person the opportunity to consent to this interaction. And it can be potentially harmful if you say something super specific that happens to be right, especially around like a traumatic thing, which people would do all the time without even considering the consequences. You could potentially traumatize or re-traumatize a stranger and have them feel like something bigger or divine is happening when it may just be coincidence. Not to mention the trauma I endured having to do this when everything in my body was like screaming at me not to all the time. And while the people who taught this to me had good intentions, we really were trying to get people to believe in God and hopefully come to our church or a church. It's one of those things I really get the ick thinking about every time it comes up in my brain.